Hello and welcome to today's Stampin Squirrels activity. So what we're doing today, instead of a card, I'm just doing a little 3D bag. I was thinking that if you were going out and about to see people, as you might be doing if you're in your bubble or safely distanced household members, then you might want to take a little gift. And what better way than to actually give them something where you've done the handmade packaging to go with it. In particular, I'm featuring the Whale Builder Punch, which you can see here, and that obviously lots of bits of whales can come out of that. And also I'm featuring probably what is one of my favourite papers from the new catalogue, which is Whale of a Time. Whale of a Time paper comes as a 6x6 paper, and they're just such beautiful, gorgeous colours. So I have to say they're completely my colour palette in terms of how it operates and looks and things. So they're just beautiful, and I love the little fish designs. I also like some of the designs on the back. So there's lots and lots of different things you can do with the whales, or jellyfish, turtles I suppose, not tortoises. Some which you can use on cards, which is the background, which should be really interesting with your whale featured in the middle. But just a lovely set. So that's what I'm going to be using to show for you today. So the bag itself is very straightforward, and I've chosen this lovely piece of paper with the turtle swimming across. Now I've scored it, and I'm going to use old money measurements, as I would call them. So I've done 2 scores. It's a bit hard to see where the scores are on the paper because there's such a lot going on. So I've scored it at 1 inch, 2 3/4, 3 3/4, 5 1/2 on the one side. I'll say those again. So that's 1 inch, 2 3/4, 3 3/4, 5 1/2 inches, and then I've just turned it around 90 degrees and scored at 1 inch, and that basically forms the base. So for the little package that I'm going to do now, I'm going to use this side as my outside. So I'm just going to take my bone folder, and I'm just going to neatly fold all the score lines. So there they are, all folded, and you can sort of get a sense of how it's going to come together like that, and that will be your bag. So now you've folded it up, what I'm just going to do is you're going to snip out, you're going to snip up all the small folds where they go up to the fold going across. So if you need to, just fold them in so you can see them clearly, and just snip up to the line. And then I just like to do a sort of notch shape, so they just come together. So I just go in like a V, so they come together through the whole bag. I'm just going to get rid of that one altogether, so that end one we don't need. So there we go. That's what your paper will look like. This is the inside of my paper, from what I've decided, and there's the outside, as you can see, with the turtles all swimming down. So you can see clearly how the notching works and how it all comes together. Then I'm going to use double-sided tape, and then I'm just going to fold over so the edges meet. There we go. So there we go. There's one part of the bag, and you see what a cute little bag it is. Could hold some sweets, could hold all sorts of small bits. Then on the base bit, I work out which is my front, and I always put where it's joined. There's the join, if you like, at the back. So I make this my front. So this will be the final piece to go over. So I will fold in the 2 small bits, fold over that one, and then that one. So all I'm going to do is put some double-sided tape on this one. If you see, that's the one before last. So that will be the only join to keep it secure. So let me just get my double-sided tape again. Fold that over, and then fold over my final piece. Now, sometimes if it's a bit tricky, it doesn't stick. Turn the bag right way up, and I use the rounded end of my bone folder just to push down a bit on the bottom. There we go. So there is your bag in essence. So you could leave it like this. However, with the Whale Builder punch, what I've done is I've stamped out some whales. So you could decorate it with whales. In this instance, I'm just going to use one whale, and I think I've stamped them out in Pretty Peacock. So I'm going to use the whale just on there. But before I do, I'm just going to show you how the bag, so what will happen with the bag is if you start at the top and you just gently push them together, and if you work your way down the sides, gently pushing it at the sides, there we go. That's how your bag will come together. So the other thing is I'm going to use just some ribbon to seal it. I don't want to, and that way you can vary what you put in it, because I think you're going to want to give a bit of give in the bag depending on how bulky the thing is you want to put inside it. So I'm just going to tie a little bit of a ribbon around it. This is some of the polka dot ribbon you may recognise. And I think it's nice because it still lets the pattern show through. On my example originally I had some thinner ribbon, there we go, not the best bow in the world, but it gives you an indication. You can fiddle about with that once you know. And then you can just pop your whale onto the front of your bag. Let me sort that ribbon out a bit better. And you can just pop your whale on. Now to stick your whale on, I'm again just going to use a little bit of double-sided tape on the back of the whale. And clearly if you've got googly eyes or something like that, or want to draw a face onto your whale, you can do. But there we go. There is our little Whale of a Time bag, all ready to have a gift put in it, for you to welcome and meet people and perhaps give it over to them. Don't forget, if you wanted to, you could place it into a bag for 72 hours before you need to hand it over to make sure there's no problems with it. But there's your bag all ready to go. So I do hope you enjoy the Whale of a Time paper, and I'll just put some of it out again so you can see, put the whale at the top there, some of the papers, so you can see the variation on the papers within the packets. We just think I personally think it's one of my favourite papers in the new catalogue, partly because it's such fun. You've got lots of variations on it in terms of how things, like look at that lovely one with the seahorses, and probably one of my favourites is this green one with all the little fishes. So lots of things for you to look at there. So have a whale of a time making it. Thank you very much.